Yes, welcome. ท่านอาจารย์ค่ะท่านอาจารย์นะ
Swadika, everyone.
สวัสดีค่ะอาจารย์
อาจารย์ค่ะ
Swadikap.
So we can begin. Does anyone have anything they would like to start with? I thought, Hung, it was a good topic at the towards the end of the Vietnamese discussion when the new friend being said she wanted to understand the conditions for sati to arise. And I thought about Nina, who usually joins this discussion, who'd asked about sati before. And it's not so easy or simple to ask. People would just like a simple answer about, oh, what can be done for sati to arise? But usually behind the question, there's the idea of what can I do or how can I make sati arise? And as Ajahn stressed, if there's the question, if there's the idea, tell me about sati and I will have more sati, of course it's quite wrong because it's all for me. And as she stressed, there has to be more understanding about what it is, the characteristic, the function, when it arises, and there has to be the understanding to getting closer and closer to understanding its nature. Otherwise, if one just wants to know the story, it's forgotten instantly. It doesn't help at all. So it was, I thought, a good topic. Did you have any comments? Help at all. So it was, I thought, a good topic. Did you have any comments?
Yes, thank you, Sarah. And we think that we understand it. We got the meaning of the word only. Yes, but it's characteristic of the reality. It seems it means that it's not appear yet. And we just as we study from moment and moment, so we understand that which moment have a sati or without sati is that what we can learn from the listening to the Dhamma discussion and learn from the book. But it seems that very little, I mean, that very little in daily life, whatever we consider about the teachings of the Buddha only. And the more we listen to the Dhamma discussion, the more we understand that we know very little about any reality like seeing now and hearing now. And for example, in the Thai discussion last week, I heard about the ghana-saññā and anattā, and it makes me a little bit confused about it. I'd like to hear about this more. So could you please, Thanachan and you both can explain for me about this more? Thank you very much.
Yes, as you say, most of the time there's really very little understanding. We think we have an idea what sati is, but we mix up a conventional idea of what it is or what we've been taught by other teachers or in the meditation center, or with an idea of I doing something or being aware, and without understanding of different realities, then it cannot be the sati of the path that develops. So the understanding is key. And with saññā, it's the same. We know there is saññā arising at each moment. And usually there is anattā because so immediately after seeing or hearing, there is marking something there, someone there, an idea of something. So only when it is the saññā that arises with understanding, which understands the truth, can it be anattā, the marking, the Dhamma as it is, the remembering the Dhamma as it is. And only when that saññā develops, anattā develops, can it be the condition can it be tira saññā as a condition for sati of the path to develop? But I'm sure Ajahn will be very glad to elaborate further on anattā-saññā, anattā-saññā, and all these points.
Thank you, Sarah.
One question. Hang, did you say ghana-saññā?
Yes, ghana-saññā is that
that's the
remember of the group of the, as my understanding is yeah, ghana.
Momentary.
As a group, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Remember and remarking the object as a group.
Okay. Well, I'll leave it for Ajahn. She can talk
Yes.
more on it. Great. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Hang.
Is it now ghana-saññā?
Yes, almost every moment, Ajahn, except the moment of seeing, hearing, and touching.
Really?
Yes.
See, it's not ghana-saññā.
Because we see at the moment of we see the telephone already, Ajahn.
Okay.
So it's the ghana-saññā.
Now, without understanding that the seeing is the chief of experiencing, and there are other realities together. So the seeing is taken for I see. So it is ghana-saññā of that which is there, arising, experiencing, performing its function by way of ghana, something.
Something already.
Yeah.
So can you understand that ghana-saññā is anattā-saññā?
Certainly.
Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn.
But anattā-saññā is wrong understanding. But when it has been eradicated, no more wrong understanding. But no one can change the way ghana-saññā is. It's something. A shoe, a plate. Is it ghana-saññā? They are
Yes.
something. So at this moment, looking at something, Punhang is that it's ghana-saññā of seeing another thing. Yeah.
Ajahn, would an example be like this morning I was looking out the window at a beautiful tree and I was thinking about, momentary. We don't see movement, we just see object. But that looking at the tree, knowing it's a tree, is that ghana-saññā?
Is there a tree? Is there a tree? Is there anything?
Well, there's a visible object.
But it's not there to be known that it's only visible object. It's a tree.
It's a tree, yeah.
Something is seen.
Something is seen, yes.
Yeah, not just one dot of seeing and that which appears. So we learn Dhamma in daily life because Dhamma, only Dhamma is there, no matter dog or cat or what tree or whatever. They're all Dhamma. It's different Dhammas. It's different one. But the idea are there about something together, unknown, that it's taken to be that because of ghana-saññā. Nobody can change the ghana-saññā. Otherwise, who will know that it's a plate, that it's a fork, that it's a spoon? But wrong understanding. It's not ditti, wrong saññā. See? Saññā vipallasa, ditti vipallasa, citta vipallasa. See? Even the Sotapanna still have saññā vipallasa, right?
Yes. Ajahn.
But no ditti vipallasa. So what is there in daily life is not in the book, but each word which we have read concerned about what is there in life, daily life, every moment. So Sati Dhamma is understand what is there. For example, a tree, Sanya Vipalasa, Chitta Vipalasa, Akusala Chitta. But anyone who understands the truth, understand the nature that what is there is something, it's not as it is appearing. It appears to be a tree because the shape and form, but there is right understanding about it. Did Buddha see Ananda? See ghana-saññā?
But without wrong understanding.
Mm-hmm. But Chitta experiences that ghana-saññā with understanding, no more ignorance.
So ghana-saññā can arise with ignorance and without ignorance, right?
Ghana-saññā arises with akusala.
Only arise with akusala.
When there's no understanding of the truth. But when there is the understanding of the truth, it is saññā, which remember what is there together as something, someone, Ananda, Sariputta, see, is there. But without wrong understanding, without any attachments or any akusala. So, without ghana-saññā, can it be known?
Cannot.
So, understanding can understand ghana-saññā and all kinds of saññā. But the chitta which experience that moment is kusala, with ignorance or without ignorance. That's why saññā is saññā. No one can change saññā. And chitta which experiences saññā depends on what degree of understanding. It does mean that there's no ghana-saññā anymore. But the chitta which experience it with kiriya chitta for arahata.
Yeah.
And for sotapanna and for sakadagami, different degrees of understanding. But the truth is that what is saññā, marks and remember. What is ghana, that which are there together, to know, to make it known as something, but with understanding, not with akusala. It does mean that no ghana-saññā anymore after become enlightened. But the chitta which experience ghana-saññā is so great understanding or depends on conditions. So now, what experience the ghana-saññā of that which appears as something? Attachment or aversion. Usually, as long as there's the ignorance and all kinds of akusala.
I
And
think
question, Ajahn, when there's kusala citta but without paññā, is the saññā associated with that citta?
When
ghana-saññā?
we talk about saññā, we don't talk about other things. But we talk about the reality which marks and remember. Is that right? It arises with each citta. Each citta is different. When it arises with understanding, it understands what is taken for ghana-saññā is only one reality arising and the other reality arising together. It depends on whether it is saññā of seeing, or saññā of hearing, or saññā of eye, anattā-saññā, or saññā of what? If there's no ghana-saññā at all, can there be any moment in life to live after the enlightenment? Because saññā is a reality. Nobody can change the moment when it's there. And it arises with its citta. What is seen after enlightenment? That which is seen, no doubt about the nature of that, But understanding ghana-saññā there as something is still there. But no wrong with feel and no kilesa. To like it, to dislike it, as usual, because that is akusla. So if we think that saññā is ghana-saññā, akusla only, what about having arhata? No more ghana-saññā. So it does not, by that way, it does not mark and remember what is seen as something at all. But usually in life, people have ghana-saññā with ignorance and attachment.
So, Ajahn, are you saying that ghana-saññā arises even for the arahat?
Yes, but not at position at that moment at all. No kilesa.
No wrong view, no kilesa. Yes.
Otherwise, how can there be the mind-out process after the sense door? But the javana is kiriya.
Yes.
Well, I think we've said before that for the arahat there still has to be the conceptualizing of things like the robes, the bowl, the dwelling, the other person, etc. Even though there is no wrong view about the true nature of present moment reality. But in order to live in samsara, there has to be the conceptualizing as there is now, people and things. Otherwise, life would just be bare moments of visible object or sound, and it wouldn't have any meaning.
I was just thinking you'd bump into the door. Again, back to go on. You finish.
I was going to say the arahat still has to have concepts of distance and space and time.
Yes.
And place. And person.
Yes.
Yeah. So that may be what the ghana-saññā refers to. I don't know, but it's just the same as for us at this moment, except in that respect. In one respect, it's the same as for us now, but in other respects, it's quite different because there is no underlying wrong view as to the true nature of the present moment reality.
But back to that, looking at this morning at the tree moving and a beautiful tree, and that ghana-saññā tells me it's a tree, but that's many, that's hundreds of jittas, isn't it? Many moments of jitta seeing the object, because one jitta would not see that one object. One jitta would just see one color in one galapa. So I just think that is it's incredible. It's because the development of paññā has to take a long time, I would think, because no amount of staring out there this morning and thinking about the Dhamma I've learned, and then going back to, isn't it a beautiful tree? So there were many moments of everything, which I think is quite normal.
Yes, countless visible objects seen in countless kalapas with countless mind or processes in between, countless moments of ghana-saññā, almost all with lobha and moha, countless moments of moha, and so much clinging. Yes, and that's just natural. It's daily life.
Yes, and that's
lots and lots of anattā, taking it for something.
Yes, indeed. Yes. So thank you.
And
Thanks,
does,
Han. Sorry, I just...
and does Arahata have also jhana, vipajita, mahakiriya, jhana, vipajita?
Certainly, Ajahn.
Without paññā.
I don't understand the yana. What is it? I didn't
Jnana.
understand that.
Paññā.
That's paññā. Yeah.
Paññā, without paññā. So does the arahat have those giriyajitas without, that for us are kusala or agusala, but for the arahat are kiriya? Those, does he have those, he or she have those without paññā?
Yes,
With-
I guess so. Yes, because it wouldn't have paññā every moment.
And Gilly, it's been very deep discussion and lots of Pali terms. Is there anything you would like to bring up today or ask about?
While you were all talking about strange things, I wrote, I seem to need a story, a journey, a history, so that I have food, shelter, company, meaning in my life. And then I said, I guess I am clinging to that story. But it's better to recognize moment to moment and be mindful. It will take a while. So while I was listening to you and getting a little bit of the meaning, that's what came to me. So that story and feeling as if I need that story, perhaps you could speak to that.
I think you've made some very good points. I think there's clinging to the stories again and again, even to the clinging to the story about the meaning of a word, clinging to the story about something that happened in the Buddha's time, clinging to the story about the tree outside the window, which Zita was talking about. So all day long, clinging to the stories about what's been seen and heard. And we think, oh, I need the story in order to get the food and to do this and that. But the wise, without any wrong view, still find the food and still go out with their alms bowls and still find the shelter, but without the clinging. So as you say, it's clinging all day to the story, but better to know, better to realize it, because otherwise it's just clinging to the stories with no idea at all, no idea of taking what is seen and heard for something and someone all day long. And this is what we're talking about. And yes, a little more understanding of the thinking now, the clinging now, what is seen now. What is seen now is not food or trees, just visible objects, but so quickly there's clinging to the stories. So the understanding can begin to develop. And we say conventionally being mindful, and this comes back to what we were discussing about the nature of sati. We think in our conventional language, being mindful means being careful how we pour the tea, careful how we consider this or that. But this is not sati, the sati which arises and is aware of reality for an instant and then gone. And again, not I or you or someone who is mindful. Otherwise, we think, I need to be mindful. But this is what we were talking about, the perversion of saññā, the taking what is seen or heard for something, for someone. So, yes, all the points are quite deep, but I agree with you. There's a lot of clinging to the story, even while we're listening to the Dhamma, even now, clinging to the story about the books in your background or the sunrise in my background or the details of someone's face, clinging to the story. from first moment of waking up and until going to sleep. Better to know and better to understand that these are just passing dharmas, not my clinging, not my being mindful or unmindful, just different dharmas.
Just a couple of points too there that I'd like to add to what Sarah said. That all these stories, they are what we call concepts, and concepts are not real, but they are the object. They are the object of thinking, and thinking can be the object of understanding. So while it's as humans, we will always conceptualize or create stories, because that's all stories are, different conceptualizations. So that, and some of these stories, in some respects, can be helpful. They're not all totally useless. They enable us to, when we're considering different aspects of Dhamma, intellectually, conceptually, we can get a better appreciation of Dhamma. So the thinking is real, but not the concepts. And I feel that to develop a more keener understanding, it's helpful to be keener in our thinking about what these different Dhammas represent. That doesn't mean to say there will be deep levels of understanding. It's like what we might be alluding to is what's called Tanajan often talks about these different levels of the three rounds. The lower round relates to pariyapti. So we can say that it's getting clearer about what the path is, little by little. So all these stories, yes, they're not real, but the thinking is real. The thinking, which has the concepts as object, the thinking is real. And that can be understood as a Dhamma. Thinking is a Dhamma. Thinking is real. Thinking is real, not what we think about. And sometimes even getting that clarified is perhaps not particularly easy. The other thing that I'd like to say too, and you were talking about sati and how we can be misled a little bit, because we sometimes translate that as awareness, but as Tanajan mentioned the other day, and while these translations can be helpful, they can just be a condition for more stories, and they don't. And no word can totally reflect that reality of sati. The reality of sati is very different from, or the reality of awareness, as it's sometimes translated, is not the reality. So it represents the reality, but it's not the reality. And it's only by considering the different Dhammas very, very carefully in different perspectives, so to speak. It's like a triangulation, if you like. So we can get a better understanding of Dhamma. It's like, I think that's really valuable to bear in mind. Otherwise, we can think, I understand it now. When we say awareness, because it's been talked about this morning, when people talk about awareness, we talk about it conventionally about, being aware when we cross the road, for example. That while we might use that word awareness, it's nothing to do with the reality of sati. And so it's about listening and attending very carefully to all aspects of the Dhamma, so that there can be a more refined and a more sophisticated appreciation of Dhamma, and not sort of stay at the story level, which is not an easy aspect of Dhamma to move beyond. It's only through careful consideration of many facets of Dhamma that there can be development, but it's a gradual process, and there has to be a lot of patience, I believe. Thank you.
We're getting close to the end of the discussion. Ajahn, would you like to add any comments to what Julie said or any of the other points?
Yes. Are you interested in knowing what is real, what is true, and what is not real, what is not true?
Yes, I am.
So what is real now and what is true now?
I'm hearing, yes, well, now I'm remembering just hearing you speak. And I can see the screen. I'm seeing, and sometimes I'm thinking.
Okay, then it's seeing right now, is it? There is seeing.
Yes.
Is it real?
It is. I mean, yes, I see the colors in front of me.
But what is real? The seeing sees or I see?
The seeing sees.
So no I at all.
Very, very difficult for me to grasp that one, but yes, it is that.
That's why it has to begin from the very beginning to have confidence of the truth, to understand the truth in the world of untruth, taking what is there as permanent and as something. But in truth, what is there cannot be permanent at all. It's gone. And it appears whether it's long or short, stay. But it has to be gone anyway. But in truth, much more than that. At moment of seeing, is there also hearing?
There is, well, not right at the same moment, but there is quite a lot of hearing as well.
That's why we have to understand the truth of each reality. Seeing cannot be hearing at all. At moment of seeing, there is no hearing. But it seems like there is now also both seeing and hearing together. Is that right? Or is wrong?
They're not exactly at the same moment, but
So
they interchange.
Yes, but now there is the idea at I see and I hear. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. In the untrue world, right? No understanding of the truth. Take that which is conditioned to arise. No one can make it arise as something all the time. We live in the world of something, anattā. But in truth, being before seeing, there's no seeing. Who can make seeing arise? Not at all.
Yeah.
So seeing is conditioned to arise. Without its proper conditions, it cannot arise at all. Without the eye base or the eye sense, without that which impinges on it, there can never be seeing at all in life or any life. Is it true? So seeing is conditioned to arise, just to see, just to see. It cannot think, it cannot hear. It just arises to see and then gone. Is it true?
Yeah.
So we are going to learn to understand the truth of life, the truth of each moment from birth. It's born. The reality which experience object is there. To see when time comes by conditions, to hear when time comes to hear by conditions. That's all from birth to death. Everyone has to die, but no one knows what is it. Is it I die or the reality which is conditioned to arise and then fall away, moment to moment? until it's time not to be this person anymore. Even just in split second. See, all are Dhammas. Dhamma means whatever is real has its characteristic to be that it cannot be other thing, and it's there so very short. For example, seeing cannot arise with hearing. So seeing is so short. We take it for moments of seeing and hearing, not understanding that they are different moments. It cannot be the same moment at all. So we live with the idea, which is not right at all. It's wrong to think that seeing, hearing, everything is permanent. Because now there is seeing, it's still seeing. But in truth, the condition for seeing is so very short. That's why seeing can't stay long at all. It's gone instantly. Being understanding little by little about the truth, to have firm confidence of the truth in life. There are so many different realities. Seeing is not liking, it's not attachment, it's not feeling, it's not memory. Whatever is there without condition, nothing can arise at all. So what is now appearing is conditioned to arise, but so very short and gone unknowingly. So we learn to understand the truth, to let go the clinging, which condition and present moment, sadness, and so on. That's why learn about the truth. That's all. It doesn't hurt at all to understand the truth. And there can be a little more understanding of the truth. Gradually be firm confidence of the truth. The truth is the truth. Because now it's there to be known. Thinking just a moment gone, seeing just a moment gone, hearing just a moment gone, instantly. Beginning to understand life, how short it is. Nobody can know the moment of death. When will it be? All by conditions. No, the moment of illness, whatever is there is conditioned. So understand the truth that actually they are only the impermanent reality, different from what now it appears. So having the understanding of the truth is better than not understanding any truth of life at all. So at moment of listening, considering to understand the truth, it is not wasting time at all. It's the most precious moment to begin to understand the truth. If there's I, there must be I all the time. But it's only so very temporary, each moment, by condition arising, no understanding. So there's no one at all, no one else. So it's I, it's me, now sees. But it's gone. Learn to understand the reality that it's real. Remembering is a reality. It cannot do anything. It just arises to remember, to mark what is there, to be remembered later, and so on. From day to day, from moment to moment, they are different kinds of Dhamma, different kind of conditions for every moment. That's all. Because no one at all, no one can do anything, because in truth, realities cannot be anyone. All depends on conditions. No one likes to feel unpleasant, but it's there by conditions. Long or short, depending on conditions. Each moment depends on condition. So begin to understand what is that very moment. It's a reality. Whenever it arises, it has to be only that reality. For example, seeing. No matter yesterday, today, or tomorrow, it only seeing which arises just to see and then gone. Would you like to keep on seeing something you like? Impossible. Because while there is seeing, it seems like there is also thinking and the other kinds of reality. But it depends on whether they are conditioned to arise together or it cannot arise together. For example, unpleasant feeling and pleasant feeling, they cannot arise together. Each different one by different conditions and then gone. No matter it's pleasant or unpleasant, it cannot stay long at all. Just in a very short moment, in split seconds moment. Is that true? For everyone, you can talk to anyone to understand what is true, what is life, what is there, what is birth, what is seeing, what is hearing, and so on, and understand the ultimate truth, not to have ignorance and clinging like before, not understanding any reality which is there at all. This is so very, very subtle to realize the truth, not just to understand it. Because as is there, there can be moment of realizing the nature of it. See, it's not hearing, it's not thinking. Only different realities arising and falling away so rapidly, which seems that they are together. But in truth, just one moment at a time. Begin to have one's understanding. Is it true? Life is just only in a moment. And without the reality which experience the object, the world cannot appear. Anything cannot appear at all. So all depends on that which arises to experience right now. That is just a reality. It's not attachment. It's not aversion, but it is a reality. Its quality is that whenever it arises, it experiences an object right now, the proof whether it's true or not. Little by little, it let go wrong understanding and ignorance, which condition ill speech, akusala, unwholesome moment, which harms the person who has such moment. It doesn't harm any other one at all. Only the moment is there. It is a cause to condition next moment to be. So we learn about what is the cause in life and what is the result in life. This is the beginning to understand the truth, whether it's true or not. It depends on careful considering to see the truth, to understand the truth, that life is so short. Everyone has to die. So what for to live just to see and then gone? So what is the most precious moment in life? To understand the truth. That is so common. It's the way life is. It's the way each reality arises and gone. What was yesterday? Where was it? Where was that thing yesterday? Even right now, just a moment ago. Where is she a moment ago? Never to arise again at all. And when it's true, it is in Pali, satya. Whatever is real is a reality. So seeing is Dhamma, and it is satya, because no one can change its characteristic. So from now, there can be more understanding of Dhamma. What is it? And what are Dhammas? Without doubt, because it's there. So each moment is Dhamma. And we learn about different kinds of Dhamma, little by little. Is it worthwhile? Is it so precious to live with understanding of what is there as not I at all, not anyone, not anything. All are Dhammas. Whatever is real is a Dhamma. So now it's a Dhamma. And the time is up again. Swadika.
Sawadika,
ท่านอาจารย์ค่ะ appreciate your sharing
สวัสดีครับท่าน
today
อาจารย์สวัสดีครับ
it's very helpful
อนุโม
thank
ท
you
นา
Sarah and